again. Welcome back to the overtime. My name is Kyle Noss. That's Nick Ketter, as always.
We're back again after a little bit of a layoff, but guy had to go and travel around the states, so we're back
I had to go
again.
do some traveling. It was
It's
fun.
all good. It's all good. We all need a little traveling in
Yep,
the
we're
break there.
traveling all the way down to the Carolinas. It was fun, but the only thing is avoid DC.
Yeah. High
Don't take
traffic area.
I-95 if you have to. Oh my.
High traffic area for sure. But we got a great show ahead here. We're going to take you through, set you up for some Section 4 playoffs and championships. We had some other Section 4 championships and some different sports other than football we like to talk about. We have some hockey updates. We hear from a little bit of wrestling. It's going to be great. We got a great show ahead.
It's going to be a great show, and let's get into it. And we're going to kick off here with the Class AA Section 4 football. Now we're in the playoffs right now. Elmira beating Ithaca 44-30. Elmira had 356 yards rushing, with junior Brady Keefe leading the charge with 144 yards on 21 rushes. Evan Garvin with 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. Avery Williams 59 yards with 2 touchdowns. And then we go to the other Class AA game. Corning Hawks beating Binghamton, not even close, 51-6. Hawks had 426 total yards of offense. Mason Smith, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, and Logan Booker with 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, they're going to play in the championship game on Friday, November 12th at 7 p.m. at Corning. And just a reminder here, Corning beat Elmira in the regular season matchup 30-8. Corning looks to defend the title as they won the title back in 2019.
But we'll jump to Class A. Union Endicott beat Vestal 28-7 to put them in the championship against Horseheads, who is coming off an upset loss a few weeks ago to Owego 23-20. But UE will take on Horseheads. Horseheads did beat them earlier in the year at their stadium, and that game is supposed to take place at Horseheads on Friday, so that'll be a big matchup there. And we'll jump to Class B. Owego and Maine Endwell going up against each other for the Class B matchup. Owego, as we just said, had that big win over Horseheads. Maine Endwell has been a dominant powerhouse all season long, sitting at 8-1. And then in Class C, we have a big matchup coming up. Shenango Forks beat Watkins Glen 39-14. Waverly sitting at 10-0, beat Norwich 35-8. And those two teams will clash. Waverly versus Shenango Forks. It's going to be a good one. We can't wait to see what happens in that battle of the two powerhouse teams there.
And we move on to Class D, where Tioga beat Delhi 56-12. Newark Valley beat Harpersville Afton 28-26 in overtime, by the way. And that'll lead to the championship of Newark Valley versus Tioga. We moved to 8-man football, where Spencer Van Etten just came out and destroyed Green 56-0. Groton over Trumansburg 30-7, leading to the championship, where Spencer Van Etten Candor will take on Groton in an undefeated battle, by the way. Both teams are undefeated.
Yeah, going to be a good matchup there in 8-man. 8-man, very exciting. We got the less guys, more space on the field. We've seen SV Candor do very well. They had an athlete of the week for 18 Sports. That was pretty cool. We saw Groton come to Edison and play very well in the rain. I know I was at that game, but it should be a good matchup there. But we'll move to Section 4 soccer. The team that's been interesting all year long has been the Section 4 and IEC champs, Elmira Notre Dame girls soccer. They have been the Cardiac Kids. They won 1-0 over Secoit to move to the state Final Four. But also in that Section 4 and IEC game against Lansing, Ava Mustico has scored both lone game-winning goals in both of those games. She beat Lansing 1-0 with her goal, and then beat Secoit 1-0 with her goal. So Elmira Notre Dame, those Crusaders, they're going to look to Ava Mustigo and company to keep them alive and hopefully get that state championship. We'll jump to volleyball now. Horseheads won the Class AA championship. They went again in the section, defeated Ithaca in straight sets 3-0. Lansing won the Class C section, defeating Oneonta 3-2 in 5 sets. Candor winning Class D, defeating Tioga 3-2 in 5 sets there. And we'll give a little shout out to the Horseheads Blue Raiders once again. Section 4 swimming Horseheads won Class A in that. So a lot of section championships going down. A lot of these teams are going to be moving to states. So keep it with 18 Sports. We'll have all your updates and highlights on a lot of the games as well as these teams move down the road and hope for a state championship in all these different sports.
And of course, make sure to turn it to the Blitz on Friday nights. I would say 11:20. Don't you think? 11:20. That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's around there, and
around 11:20.
It's obviously some great news before that at 11, all the way from 11 to 11.
Yes, we obviously have the news there, but if you want to turn in just for the Blitz.
Yeah, but the Blitz is fun. We've had a lot of fun. We'll come right back. We got some Elmira College wrestling to talk about, and we'll hear from them on their historic meet that they just had and the ones coming up. It's going to be great.
Welcome back to Twin Tiers Overtime. Now, we're going to stop here and take a look at Elmira College Wrestling. They're starting the program back up this year. And men's wrestling is returning for the first time in decades. The team is currently 0-1 in 2 events, but the next one is the New York State Collegiate Championship at Cortland on November 20th. Now, this is a pretty big deal, but what is also a big deal about the wrestling program returning at Elmira College is that women's wrestling for the first time ever will be returning. And Nick, I feel like you got some stuff on that.
Yeah, it's a very historic thing here. The women's wrestling team coming to Elmira for the first time ever. Obviously, the men's team returning for the first time in decades. I believe it was in the 70s that they had been around, but I won't, don't quote me on that. But women's wrestling here for the first time ever. I actually got to watch a little bit of their first meet in East Stroudsburg. Malin Reyes got their first ever win in EC women's wrestling history, and Tiante Murray got their first ever pin in a match at East Stroudsburg back on November 3rd. Now the team got some recognition as well, along with our very own Andy Malnoski. WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon, was on Twitter before the start of the season. She actually saw our preview that Andy did and commented some words of encouragement and saying she'd love to see that the women's team was doing what they were doing. So very cool there, getting some cool recognition there from a Hall of Famer who went to Elmira Notre Dame and was on their wrestling team. But the girls team, or women's team rather, they are 1-0 in 2 or 0-1 in 2 events. They're back on the day we're recording this, November 9th. But we'll have that on 18 News as well. They're going to be at home for the first time, which will be very cool. But the next after that will be the Ultimate Girls Fall Championships in Lancaster, PA on November 20th. And of course, we did catch up with the team before the season, so we will let you listen to what they had to say about what this means to bring back the men's team and to have a brand new women's team. It's a really exciting time for EC, and they definitely share that excitement. Take a look.
I know everyone's really working hard, especially because I know everyone in that room wants to be an All-American, so that's kind of the common goal we all have.
We're going to come out, we're going to be in shape, we're going to work, we've been working super hard, and I'm excited to just, like I said, this last 2 years of hard work is finally going to come to fruition and just get a chance to get everyone out there on the mat competing. And yeah, we're super excited to make it happen. So,
and you just heard from the Elmira College women's wrestling. We wish them luck. We wish the boys luck. It is truly great that the wrestling program is back at Elmira College after all these years.
Yeah, it's awesome and really historic for the college too. And we're going to be keeping up on all the things they do and hopefully all the success to come for them. So we'll be keeping an eye on them. Hopefully we can get them on the show soon. It's going to be a pretty cool team to keep up on both of them. So we'll be right back with a big college hockey and professional hockey update right here on Twin Tiers Overtime.
Welcome back to Twin Tiers Overtime, and we're going to head onto the ice right now with some college hockey. Of course, let's start with Johnny Beecher. He returned to the University of Michigan November 5th, and he had a goal and an assist against Michigan State with a 7-2 win, over Michigan State. But University of Michigan, they play Penn State and Notre Dame in the next 4 games. They'll actually be at Penn State here soon. Not just saying, if you want to make that road trip.
Yeah, that'd be a cool environment to be in as well. And it's good to see Johnny have some success after dealing with an injury for a little while and just picking right up where he left off, because it's a great team to score against. Being at the University of Michigan, you score and have an assist against Michigan State, that rivalry game there. But big games coming up. Of course, Beecher, draft pick of the Boston Bruins. Can't wait to see what he does with the Bruins. He's going to be a great fit there in the future. But we love to see what he's doing at Michigan too, and he's got a great team around him. I'm thinking you're going to see a lot of those guys end up in the NHL and have some good careers there. But we'll move on from that. We'll go to Elmira College. I was just at a game not too long ago against my alma mater, the Oswego State Lakers. EC got the best of them, 5-4 in a thrilling game. It was crazy, awesome, great crowd. It was just great to be at a game like that again. But the men's hockey team, they're 2-1-1, coming off a tie against Southern Maine. Giannis Vizbelis of Latvia leading the way with 3 goals and 3 assists. And EC going to play Buff State on Saturday. Kyle, tell us about the women's team.
And the women's team is off to a really good start too, by the way, going 3-0 so far, ranked 5th by the USCHO. That's actually really, really great. The women's team has always been good, by the way. Like, they always had a strong program ever since they debuted. I feel like they debuted 15 years ago, it feels like. Anyway, I don't know. We'll have to look that up. But anyway, EC is scoring 5 goals per game, allowing less than 0.3 goals per game, which EC's goalies have a combined save percentage of 0.974. And Mary McCaffrey leads with 2 goals and 5 assists. Emma Crocker, 4 goals and 1 assist. EC plays again Friday versus Williams State College. Now, I really do hope more people show up to the women's game. They're a lot of fun. They're just as fun as the men's. I really hope more people show up, to be honest. I noticed attendance is kind of lacking.
Yeah, an example of that would be the highlight that we had on the Blitz. I actually got to call Andy. Got it. Wow, what a goal that we had on there. A great deflection, a redirect in front by Sabrina Schwartzman. And man, wow, that was insane. Just a great play. Probably one of the plays of the year. Obviously, it was on the same night as some other great plays as well in football. But yeah, it's exciting. I mean, the team is fantastic. You go back, they're allowing less than 1 goal per game, 0.3. I mean, they are just on fire. And almost a 98% save percentage, but 2 goaltenders. That's very impressive. And they're doing really great. It's going to be interesting. I think they have 2 games against William Smith coming up, and see if they can keep it going. Being ranked 5th's good. I think at 3-0, maybe they'll be a little higher than that afterward.
By the way, I just got to ask you, when you were there, did you get the pretzel sticks?
I did not actually. No, I didn't get the pretzel sticks. It was we were pretty busy.
The pretzel sticks are amazing.
They are
amazing.
A
dome dog.
Yep. But yeah, I did run into some friends actually. I was pretty busy with that. It was pretty packed, honestly. It was an intense game, 5-4, like I said, close throughout the whole game. So I was a little stressed out. The Lakers were kind of stressing me out a little bit. But
you didn't get the sticks.
I couldn't stress eat. No. I was too busy staring at the ice hoping they would score.
Disappointed.
But yeah, it was a great game though. I will say I have to get the pretzel sticks next time. But anyway, we'll move on to Cornell, and another great team, the men's hockey team there. They're 3-1 after a 5-4 win over Dartmouth. Kyle Betts leading the way with 2 points. They play Union College on Friday, their women's team. kind of on the other end as well, they're 1-4-1 coming off a tie with Brown University. Daniel Izzy has 7 assists, while Gillis Frechette has 3 goals and 1 assist.
Hopefully the women's team rebounds there, but the men's team off to a great start. Cornell again has always been a strong hockey program.
Yeah, they really want to get back in the on the ice because they weren't able to play during the whole COVID deal, and they were going to be the number 1 team in the nation as far as I know. And
because once the pandemic hit, that they were actually the best team in the nation when the pandemic
I believe
hit.
they were number 1
Then
in
of
the
course
rank.
they didn't play last year, and that just sucks. That just sucked in general. But
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, they were probably very eager to get back on the ice. I know he can't really speak for him, but I mean, if you're number 1 in the nation, you can't defend that crown for an entire year and have to watch. That's got to be tough. But they're back out. They're 3-1. I'm sure they want to be undefeated, but they're gonna have a good record. I'm thinking this season it's gonna be good. I think the women's team will get it turned around as well. I mean, both teams are dealing with a long layoff, so I mean that's tough for anybody. But we'll move on to the Elmira Junior Enforcers, who've also been playing their home games at the Murray Athletic Center up the Domes. So they're 2-11 so far. They've had a really tough schedule over the last month, playing on the road in the last 11 games in October and November. We talk about a long layoff. I mean, what's just as tough as playing on the road for that long and a lot of travel. You get kind of worn down.
this team hasn't gone off to a good start, as you know. Grant, and also they're playing at a new home. They're playing at the Murray Athletic Center up in Pine Valley due to the whole First Arena debacle. And granted, they're also on the road a lot, which that just hurts, especially for a young team like this. Hopefully they can rebound. I know I've said that with the other team, but you know.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. You got Glenn Patterson at the helm for the first time, former Elmira enforcer, and it's just an interesting thing. I mean, they were on the road quite a lot last season. They made it to the national tournament. I think, they had a big turnaround then too. They didn't get off to the best start last year, and they kind of turned it around and ended up making a deep run in their USPHL playoff tournament there. So I think there's a potential for them to do it again. It's a really long season, but hopefully, they can get back at home, get some wins, and start to even out that record. And I think they can get it turned around. But their last game, tough 5-2 loss to Wilkes-Barre. Next game on Friday is going to be in Buffalo, and then their next home game will be on a Sunday versus Utica. So there is a chance for them to kind of reel it back in, start trying to get back on the right track. Obviously, we hope they can do that. But next up on Twin Tiers Overtime, we got a huge NASCAR update for you. We're going to take you through the silly season. We're going to take you through this past season, and we'll get set up for the next year's Watkins Glen schedule. We're a little early, but we get excited here on Twin Tiers Overtime for that kind of thing. So we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Twin Tiers Overtime. We're going to finish off this show here with some NASCAR talk. Kyle Larson winning the Cup Series championship. Feels weird not saying a sponsor, by the way. I know it's been like that. I think last year it was like that too. I'm not 100% certain, but it just feels a little weird not saying a sponsor.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the logo's kind of neat. I mean, right above my head. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Logo's cool. But as we move forward, NASCAR news for 2022. Hey, you can never start early, We're only 3 months away.
Yeah. 3 months isn't that long. It'll fly by.
Oh. They're going to have a new car next year, the next gen car. And then, of course, we're starting next season with the Clash at the LA Coliseum. That's actually interesting to me. I don't know how that's going to go, especially with the whole idea of, hey, we're going to go out west and then go to Daytona.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be a long travel for them. It's kind of a weird step out of what I thought the direction they were going to be going. I know they wanted to try some new things, which is great, but for a second there, they were like ready to take those breaks like IndyCar does and like not race every single weekend, which I'm glad they didn't do because it kind of takes away from, what NASCAR is known for is racing every Sunday with the exception of one or two.
I'm really interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah,
But
me
I'm
too.
all for NASCAR trying new things. I'll admit
Mhm.
that right now. I like
Yeah,
that they're trying new things.
as long as they stay at Watkins forever, that'll be just try all the new things you want. I don't care. But we'll get into some of the other NASCAR news here. Chip Ganassi Racing exits the series, and they sold their charter to Trackhouse Racing, which is Daniel Suarez's team, the '99 team. Ross Chastain jumping over, taking the number 1 car to Trackhouse Racing, so he'll be teammates with Daniel Suarez. Kurt Busch joining 2311 Racing under the ownership of Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan. He's going to be in the number 45 car and carry the Monster sponsorship over. So that should be interesting. Austin Cindric coming up, the champion from the Xfinity Series in 2020 and Watkins Glen winner a few years back. He joins the Penske team in the number 2. And Brad Keselowski going to leave that ride, go to Roush Fenway as an owner driver in the number 6. Harrison Burton coming up from the Xfinity Series to take over for the number 21 Wood Brothers car. Ryan Blaney's crew chief on the Penske side. Todd Gordon retiring from racing. The number 21 crew chief for Matt DiBenedetto this year. Jonathan Hasler will take over with Ryan Blaney. Then JTG Doherty Racing moving to 1 car and re-signed Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They haven't really announced what the actual plan is going to be. But if you put 2 and 2 together there, it looks like Ricky's going to have their 1 car charter. Ty Dillon coming back to the Cup Series in a new entry from the truck team, GMS Racing, in the number 94. Justin Haley's returning to the Cup for a full-time ride with Colleague Racing, the Xfinity team that's been exciting, in the number 16. Notable free agents going to be Ryan Newman coming out of the 6 car, Matt DiBenedetto, and Ryan Preece. It's a lot of interesting news coming out of the Cup Series there, Kyle.
It's interesting there. You mentioned the free agents there. Ryan Newman, man, he's been around for a long time. And it's crazy to me that he doesn't have a ride. Granted, I understand he hasn't had much success at Roush, but to me, he
Yeah,
should at least still get a ride. Like even with the lower teams, like someone would offer him a ride.
I wonder though. I wonder if it's going to play out this season with Matt DiBenedetto or Ryan Newman, with them getting in. I don't know at this point in their careers if they're willing to get in one of the smaller cars like Aspire Motorsports or something like that. Because I know Spire will have an open seat because Justin Haley's going to a different team.
Before we head out here, let's touch on the Watkins Glen NASCAR schedule for 2022, shall we? Now, ARCA will be Friday, August 19th. Xfinity will be Saturday, April 20th at 3 p.m. on the USA Network.
August
And
20th.
What was that?
Yeah, August 20th.
What did I say?
April.
Yeah, we're going to move it to April this year.
It might be a little rainy in April. You never know.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
August 20th at 3 p.m. And then the Cup Series will be Sunday, August 21st at 3 p.m. on the USA Network. Remember, NBCSN is folding at the end of the year. RIP. But did you notice something, Nick? There's something missing there.
The news we're not great fans of is the Camping World Truck Series will not return to Watkins Glen this coming season after a triumphant return. First time in 20 years. Austin Hill got the win, and we didn't really even get the full race. It got rained out at the end, but Austin Hill was declared the winner, and it was coming down to being a great race at the end. Just couldn't get it in, but it was still a great race. Everyone wanted to see it. There was a lot of people there for the race. It was exciting. Just great to see the trucks back.
And it's just really disappointing to see that they're not returning. I was really surprised when I heard it wasn't returning. And from what Michael Printup said, it was in the cards that they were not going to return in 2022. But at the same time, it's just surprising.
Yeah, it was kind of from what when we talked to him, it was kind of like a last second, like, hey, we want the trucks to race here. Oh, okay, let's do it. So they did it, and I mean, it was good. It was fun. Hopefully they do come back. It was really exciting to have them there and have 4 races. It was a blast to cover that. and have those guys around. And I'd like to see him come back. Hopefully that's in the plans in the future. I know Mike Prina probably would easily bring them back if he could. So, I don't know. NASCAR is going in a different direction this season. I know they're going to Sonoma with the trucks for the first time since 1998.
Eh,
Honestly, not one of my favorite tracks, but
not one of my. It's one of those road courses where I just never really liked, to be honest.
yeah. But it'll be interesting with the elevation changes there in the hills. We'll see how that works.
Maybe if they go back to the original layout, though.
Yeah,
Because the layout
yeah.
they've been using the last few years has not been fun.
They changed that track quite a lot, so it's
I really wish they
it's
would
interesting.
stop.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing there.
unless
But-
unless they cut through the parking lot. You know how they go through that?
Oh yeah,
Just let them cut through the parking lot. Let's just see what happens.
there we go. We'll change the configuration again. But well, anyway, we hope to see the trucks come back. But it's still going to be an amazing weekend at the Glen, as it always is. So much fun. ARCA Xfinity Cup going to be there this year. USA Network will have 2 of the races if you can't be there, which will be a new debut for them. That'll be pretty cool. But it's a little ways away still in next August.
Are you sure it's
but
not April?
Well, that's definitely not April. Don't listen to him. There might be a different race in April. I don't know. But
Kyle's gonna make a race for April.
I would love to see, honestly, 2 races at Watkins Glen, but we'll get to that down the road. But anyway, it was fun. It's been a fun episode. Hopefully we can snag some great guests coming up here. We got some good things happening around the local area and some people around the area, from the area, doing big things as well. There's a lot of state championships coming up. We're going to have a lot of happy winners, hopefully, around the area. So NASCAR is going to take a little break, and we'll be back very soon. But Twin Tiers Overtime will be here, and you can keep watching us on mytwintiers.com and get the updates on 18 Sports. Don't forget the 18 Sports Splits on Fridays. That's fun. We're going to have a lot of postseason updates. It's going to be great. But anyway, it's been a great episode of Twin Tiers Overtime, Kyle. I'm Nick Cutter. That's Kyle Nuss, wherever he is on the thing. I don't know where he's going to put himself with the editing.
He's over there.
Somewhere.
I don't know where I'm at.
He might be to my left. He might be to my. He might even be racing around in a circle. I don't know.
This is Twin Tiers Overtime. We'll see you next time.
See ya.